Let's Talk Oculus, a VR podcast, is proudly sponsored by the good folks at Patreon. If you want to support the show, join us on patreon.com/Let's Talk Oculus. What's up, Oculus nerds? Welcome back to Let's Talk Oculus, episode 152. I'm your host, as always, Dan, and I'm joined by my co-host, as always. It is Samson. How you doing, Samson?
I'm doing well. Got in a good amount of VR this week, but unfortunately, no Walkabout Mars. Sort of got lost in space, if you will. But how was your week, Dan?
Sorry. It's fine. It's just funny when because Samson's having mic issues before we started recording, so now he's gone full radio host and he's right up against the mic, but it's working. It's working just fine, and it's making me laugh.
It's all that matters.
It's all that matters. Yeah, my week's been good. It's been very chaotic. I've obviously been moving, as a lot of people know from the last podcast episode. Obviously, you sat with Robin and did a little guest special episode in between our last proper episode together. But yeah, it's coming together. You might hear a bit of echo in my voice at the moment just because I'm in a very empty room. But yeah, it's all fine. We got to play a lot of the new Walkabout course, which is what we're going to talk about in part 2. So I'm excited to share about that. But yeah, been a solid week, Samson.
Very good.
Bit of housekeeping before we get into the. Well, let's just say we got lots of stuff to talk about. We got the v69 update, and I've been trying it out as
nice.
I've been trying it out as well. Hitman 3 is just having a bad rap right now. We've got the Walkabout phone app, which is right around the corner with their second beta. And then we've got a bunch with what we've been playing, of course. Obviously, I've been playing the Mars Garden new Walkabout course, which we'll get into. But Samson, bit of housekeeping to start off with. We're going to be moving to a new Discord server. Do you want to tell the folks about it?
You're not the only one who's moving this week, because we are opening a new Discord server. It will be very much like the old one, except this one we will actually be in charge of it, because a little while ago we had a little situation happen, a little no bueno, if you will, and we can't really run events and do all the things we want to do on the current server. And a news to everybody out there: Discord help, Discord support. It's
bad.
It sucks. It's really bad. Months between replies, and so now we're just ripping off the Band-Aid, and we are opening this new one. We will be making the old Discord read only on September 25th, and so we're asking everybody who is in the old one to move to the new one, and we will be posting in it. And to all those in the future, welcome to the new one. New Discord. Same old gang.
I love it. Yeah, 25th is the day of the Connect, so you know that you have basically 2 weeks to kind of just move over, just join the new server, and to join that, there's a link in the description where you can just click and just join that, and then you can leave the old Discord, or you can stay, keep it for read only if you want to see some old chats. Of course you can, that's not a problem. But yeah, join the new one. That's where all of the new updates are going to be, and where everyone else is going to be chatting real soon. Also, if you do, the Discord is free to join. Anyone can join it. But if you do want to support the show, join us on Patreon. Send us $1 to keep the lights running and getting Samson's mic fixed as well. That'll be great. And then final housekeeping, the Meta Connect, as mentioned, is on September 25th. We will be live streaming it on YouTube from 12:30 p.m. They haven't announced when the keynote is actually going to be, but just judging on the last few, it will be at 1 p.m. Eastern time. So we'll be live at 12:30 p.m. And then we'll watch the keynote, which normally is around 2 hours. And then we will break away. We'll do some initial impressions, but then we'll break away, and then me and Samson will actually record a reactions podcast, which we'll post live. We'll post the day after. And if you're on Patreons, you'll get it as soon as I've edited it as well. All right. And then
Very well.
to everyone who probably noticed now that the show will be on out to everybody on Fridays, no longer Thursdays. However, if you do love the Thursdays, if you join us on Patreon, the show will be posted on Thursday for all Patreons a day early. So that's another reason to join the Patreon. But
Come on down.
Samson, let's talk about what's been happening over the last week and a half, shall we say, since we've...
Get some news.
Let's get some news. Okay, let's talk about the Quest updates first. So we've got v69 has just been released. I've already downloaded it. Have you got it on yours? You're always slow to get these updates.
I haven't noticed it, Dan. I haven't noticed.
You've not noticed 69?
But what's it
No.
bring?
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
No, okay.
I mean, not on my Quest.
Fair enough. Okay, so v69, there's a few things that it brings. You've got seamless multitasking, which allows you to essentially watch or use a 2D app whilst playing a VR game. So you could like have
Speaking of 69,
yeah, you can have like a
you're watching it.
These jokes
while
are
you
gonna
golf.
go throughout for all this news channel. You can watch YouTube, for example, or Netflix or something on the browser whilst you play in VR and such. So you could have that open. It will reduce or can reduce performance though on the apps depending on which game you're playing. So just keep that in mind. You don't want to be playing Assassin's Creed with YouTube up, and also probably you don't want that anyway. But it might be handy though to like pull up a guide
For guides,
right?
For Walkabout, finding the balls if you don't want to do that naturally, or the fox hunts, ideal.
Yeah, you could just pull it up. That's a great idea. I used to get it on my phone and just have to lift up the headset and such. Yeah, no, absolutely. Also, though, what I was thinking is that you could, like back in the day, I think maybe in 2021 or 2022, a while ago, we did Jackbox in VR where we went into big screen, but then we had to put it up on our phones. So we had to lift our headset every single time. Now you could go in a big screen, have Jackbox open on the big screen, and then have a 2D browser up with your like Jackbox questions. So then now you can play Jackbox properly in VR.
A bit more comfortably. Yeah.
We should probably test that out. Actually, that sounds like a...
Have you tried it?
Not this one. No, not the multitasking in the app. I haven't done this one. I've done a few of the other ones, but not this one in particular. The next thing, do you think you'll use it at all? I think maybe to find out the Walkabout balls. I think that's the most I will use it for.
I imagine I will forget that it exists most of the time. If I ever decide to stream, though, it is a great way to have chat open.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see the performance issues when you put too much on, but alas. The next thing is content adaptive backlight control. This dims the backlight in darker scenes for deeper blacks to help. Obviously, the Quest doesn't have OLEDs, so the blacks can look a bit gray, shall we say, a little bit washed at times. It's hard. This is a hard one for me to test. From just playing a lot of Walkabout this week, I have not noticed deeper blacks. It still looks very good, but I think you probably want to see a side by side. Maybe Upload VR will put one out or something once they have this. But it's obviously nice if it works well. Spatial audio for 2D windows is coming as well. So let's say you're using the YouTube example. If you put it on the right of you, it will be on the right channel for the audio, which is pretty cool. And then the biggest one for me is that you can finally remove apps from your library. So when you have all of these, you, Samson, and you got a bunch of apps. I've got a bunch of apps from also just doing this podcast, and I want to get rid of them all. From now, you can only uninstall them, but now you can remove apps. Now, this feature was actually meant to come in v66. I actually remember talking about it, but it never actually came. And now that I've got the v69 update downloaded,
You've been removing them?
installed, I still can't remove them. It's still not there. I don't know if it's like more of a gradual rollout for this feature, but I went on the...
I do think that happens. I do think that the features can come out like that
gradually. It could even take weeks for it to come out. It's such a weird way of doing it, to be honest. But I checked through the experimental to see if it's an experimental feature. It's not. But the instructions are: you go to the app, you press the menu, the three dots, and it should say remove where it would say uninstall. But nothing. No, it's not there yet. So I haven't got that yet. But as soon as it comes, I've probably got like 150 or so that I just need to get rid
one
of.
or two.
Yeah. So a decent update. This is probably the last update. I mean, it will be the last update before the Connect. So I wonder for the Connect, for V70, they're going to show off some massive features. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Anything there excite
I bet there's
you?
one or two up there.
Anything there excite you, Samson?
I mean, seamless multitasking is pretty cool. I don't know that I'll use it too much, but
Fair.
there are people out there that I believe will.
Yeah, fair.
Adaptive backlight is pretty meh. We'll see. We'll see how much it really affects it. I did get into Walkabout night mode on the PlayStation VR, and I did notice. I was like, oh, this does feel like nighttime now.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, we'll talk about it in part 2 when I talk about Mars Garden, because the night mode does feel quite dark, shall we say. We'll talk more in the part 2. Next news story is the Quest 3S is right around the corner. We already know that it's going to be announced during Connect. Although we've seen like renders of it and leaks of it and such, we've actually got an official leak from Meta itself. So they've kind of released an official, well, it wasn't released, it was found in the MetaQuest Link PC application, like the official render for the app. So we know exactly what it looks like.
No one will look at that.
Nobody
paid attention. Yeah, nobody pays attention to our PC VR.
Yeah, that's a bad idea there. That's a bad idea. But yeah, you can see it in all its glory. It looks exactly the same as what we anticipated with the 3 camera on one side and 3 on the other side. I mean, I'm not sure if it's cameras, but there's like three holes. There's also been various Chinese companies that selling accessories on AliExpress who have also showing this. And I actually got an email from a specific company, which I forget who they are, but maybe I shouldn't name them anyway. But they sent me saying that there's a new Quest 3S dock coming out and they wanted to send it to me. I looked at the email, I saw the screenshot, and it was, clearly the same render that everyone's kind of been using. So, we already know what it looks like. It'd be interesting. The biggest thing to me is just how much is this going to cost, you know? We pretty much know what the performance is going to be like. Like it's going to be very similar to the Quest 3, just minus the actual lenses more than anything. But how much is it going to cost?
Well, and it's no depth sensor. I think it uses the IR light.
Yeah, that's true as well. What's your right now? We'll do some official predictions in maybe a show's time or so. But like, what is your ballpark figure? Now, the PlayStation 5 Pro just got announced, and that was ridiculously expensive, more than anyone thought it was going to be, at $700 USD. Sorry.
Won't lie, Dan. I didn't have the sticker shock really that everybody else did.
No.
Yes, very expensive, but not like, oh my god, I can't believe that they made this choice. Yeah, that's just me. They've been selling an accessory that's been more than the console.
with the VR headset
for the longest time.
You're not wrong.
It's not if you take into account inflation, the PlayStation 3 was more expensive at release.
That's true.
It's true. That said, I'm not too interested in one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too.
There is that. But price Quest 3S, I think it'll be $300 to $349 around there.
What's the?
I don't think it clears $400 USD.
It's $499 USD for the Quest 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it has to be.
That's another thing. The Quest 3, the big one, is over $600. It's very close to the PlayStation 5 Pro.
Yeah. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I think they have to. If they can hit $299, it'll be sweet. But I don't know if they can. We'll see. I think $349 as well. I kind of on the same path as you, but like 400 seems like it's too close to the next one. And remember, like with the 128 and the 512, there's a $150 difference. Is that correct? I'm working in Canadian dollars, so it might be.
I bet there's only one size for this.
Yeah, yeah,
Or
yeah.
at least that wouldn't surprise me.
No, it won't surprise me. I think there'll be a 128 version, and that's it. That would be the one. But could they just do a 64 gigabyte version? No, can't.
No.
No, the apps are too big. The apps are too big. But if they could do 299 at 128, that's the sweet spot, and I think they'll sell quite a lot. But if they go over that, it's all that mental math, right? When you see 299, it looks way better than 349. But yeah, we'll see on that. And we'll see if they also bundle controllers and do all that stuff. There's different ways they can cost save, but I think it'll be quite simple, to be honest.
It'll have controllers.
Yeah. All right. Next news story. You can also now share your view in Messenger in Quest. If that doesn't make any sense to you, let me explain. So now when you're on Facebook Messenger, you could do a video call on your phone, obviously. But if you're wearing your Quest headset, you can showcase what you're seeing through the headset. So essentially pass-through mode that you can see, and also any virtual content that's in like 2D and VR games as well. So like you can be in VR on a video call.
Live stream.
Yeah, like a live stream in a way. And you could do that. Obviously, stuff like Netflix won't appear. That's obvious. But now you have a first person view during video calls in Messenger, which is very, very interesting. I think I guess the FaceTime app on Vision Pro probably does this. It definitely does this actually. So that's just their kind of like replicant, shall we say. I don't think there's going to be a big deal for Quest 3 owners, for just normal gamers. They're not going to play a game and FaceTime someone through Messenger to show them this game, but this might be more
They probably don't have Messenger even installed.
Yeah, that's true.
It's odd. Is it just me, or is it... I very rarely want to give my first person view when I'm in a call. It's normally facing my face.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think it's not really for us. It's more for like maybe enterprise users to maybe do a call with someone to show like a prototype or whatnot like that.
Gotcha.
I think that's what it's for. I don't think it's really for Quest 3 owners. I think it's for the people who, like when Meta says their Horizon OS is now going to be available for third-party manufacturers. So you got Lenovo making a headset and all these different companies. I think this is what that's more tailored for. So someone can make like a pro version of a headset and use this feature. So, but yeah. Samson, we got some little bit of a downer news in the news story. Hitman 3 VR came out last week whilst we were away, or at least I was away. Did not do well. A lot of bad reviews all across the board. Like this is one of the biggest games that I've seen that not only, like sometimes you get big games like this that don't review well amongst certain people. Like maybe it's like a decent game, or maybe some content creators like it, some don't, etc. This one is like just straight off, like everyone agrees that this is just a really bad release, which is really unfortunate. Week later now, XR Games did release the first patch with a long statement as well. You can go read it on their Twitter and such. Apparently, I've not tried the game, but apparently this patch that they've done is not.
It made things worse.
Yeah, in some cases it made things worse, right? So really sad to see, to be honest. I'm surprised XR Games didn't step in sooner, or maybe they were just pushed by Meta to reach a specific deadline or internally and all that stuff. But I hope, I got a good faith that they'll patch things up and it will get better and such. But I hope that by the time everything does get a little bit better, it's not completely dead in the water.
I think it's RIP.
Yeah.
I think it's floater down the river. I did pre-order it, and then I heard, talked to enough people that I thought, yeah, I'm good, and I refunded it before hopping into it.
Yeah. Oh, so you didn't even try it? Okay.
I just,
fair.
I don't understand, Dan. Why do they keep trying with this Hitman 3? Why not port like one of the places, like an earlier one?
Or create a new one,
I
like from the
Yeah,
ground up,
sure.
unless that's like way too much effort. But like, if you create a new Hitman specifically for Quest 3 from the ground up, then you're probably going to have a
That's a lot of
much.
time.
It is a lot of time. Yeah, it is a lot of time porting something. Probably much less time, but still, maybe if it's going to turn out like this, then what's the point, right? It's all really bad on XR games because they, they've had some decent games. The Zombieland, Headshot Fever, I think was the last one, more of an arcadey game, and they were good. They're kind of a big studio in a way. I don't know if big, but like a decent sized studio. You'd expect some quality content, and I was very surprised. I'm like I said, the game
I
could
didn't
be meh,
I
but
didn't
like
expect this. Yeah.
no, like the game could be meh, but it doesn't like this bad across the board. It's really sad to see, to be honest. And hoping other games that come out later on this year that we're anticipating, Batman, for example, Alien and Behemoth and all that stuff, doesn't disappoint like this. Otherwise, it's going to be a very sad, sad rest of the
Well, to
year.
be fair, the one trailer we got of this wasn't that great.
Yeah, it did just show the graphic. The art style did look decent in that one because it was like more of this is more of a cartoony art style and such. But it seems like that was one of the worst part of it is like the visual quality, right? From what we've heard.
It just seems there's a lot of pop in. There's a lot of glitchiness and just general jank with using like the wire. I seen a body just fly up in the sky. It doesn't seem like much works well.
Yeah, so never mind. Crossed off the list. Your first anticipated. This is one of your anticipated games that's now crossed.
Yeah.
We move on to the next one.
Yep.
We move on to the next one.
Unanticipation.
On anticipation. Okay, moving on, we've got Walkabout Mini Golf's iPhone app, which is in its second beta testing now. You can sign up to their beta testing on their website if you want to. If you remember, I spoke about it on the pod. We spoke about it. You played it as well, right? A few months ago for the first beta test. I found it very challenging, shall we say. It was really cool that they had this swing to putt, but I found it very challenging with that. However, I've not jumped into this beta, but I've just been reading into it and having a look at the videos they've put out. It looks like the swing to putt is much better. Oh, Samson, you've got it installed.
They've got not only just swing to putt, but they have you can drag
Touch to
down.
putt.
Like if you hold it vertically, it does touch to putt, and if you hold it horizontally, I believe it does
Swing to putt.
Swing to putt. Yes, sir.
Have you tried it?
Very, very briefly, only to realize that it had the feature of pull back to. So you just.
Samson's giving us a little demo on the video here.
I'm teleporting. It doesn't work when I'm not looking.
Yeah.
But you hold down. Oh gosh, I can't. You hold down and you pull back like you would in a classic, like when you used to play like golf as a kid on like Candy Stand or whatever that like website was. Or you click and you pull back. That's what you're doing with your finger.
That seems way more fun to me. That I could just play that vertically and do it like not just.
It's a bit easier.
Yeah, a bit easier. The swing to put. Have you tried the swing to put mode again? Because
not again.
Okay,
but I did try it the first time.
Because what I noticed is that they've put in better camera angles with the swing to putt, so it's a bit easier. Well, this is just from the videos I'm looking at, but it looks like it's just a bit easier and clearer to actually swing to putt. Where before you kind of look where you're going, then you go down to.
They give you the line, right?
I don't remember. I'll have to try it again. You'll have to try it. You're the one in the beta.
Yeah, I think it gives you a line.
Yeah, but it looks a bit more optimized. But yeah, if you're curious about it, try the beta. It's free to try. It's only for iPhone as of for now. And It's I don't think they've got a release date yet for this one yet, but
No.
yeah,
I hope it's for Christmas time though.
I think that's what they're trying to aim for sure. Okay,
I
perfect.
wonder what the price will be. I wonder if it'll be the same $15.
That seems
Same price model
yeah,
throughout.
it seems quite expensive for a iPhone app.
Mobile.
Yeah, for mobile.
Make the base game free and all the DLCs the same price.
I think if you want to, I think if they could, they want to bundle it with Apple Arcade, so it's in that subscription, like
That would
most.
be good. Dan, I have Apple Arcade.
Yeah, me too.
I feel like I've got my money's worth too, mostly because my girlfriend plays so much of Hello Kitty.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I just
But
because yeah, gone.
What's coming end of this month on Apple Arcade is one of my favorite games that I've been playing, Bocce.
It is a big deal today. Actually, I noticed that a big deal on the Discord. Are you any good at Balatro?
Good? No, I have fun.
Yeah, that's fair. What do? You play it on your deck, or
Play it on the deck, on the go. I played it on my computer.
and now you can play it on your phone? Well, real soon.
Now I'll be able to play it on my phone. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. So yeah, that's the Walkabout app. I think if they obviously put it into Apple Arcade and still, I think if it's in Apple Arcade, you can still pay for in-app purchases, so like the courses and such. But it's a great idea. It's a great idea to play, especially because you can play with people in VR if you wanted to on multiplayer. It might be cheating. It might be more difficult on the app. Who's to say? We'll find out.
I do see people complaining about that on Reddit, on the subreddit, and it didn't even occur to me because golf has been always a game against myself.
Yeah, right.
So I don't really care how the other people are generally doing.
Yeah.
I get that I might be very weird and uncompetitive in that regard. Don't get me wrong. I do love beating my brother in some Walkabout. But in general, I certainly wouldn't be like, oh, you only beat me because you're on the phone.
This is not like a competitive shooter. This is not Call of Duty or Halo. This is not.
There's no leaderboards.
No,
That's what I mean.
No, this is not anything like that. People just like to get mad for everything. For everything. But anyway, final news story is we have a brand new game for the makers of Player. I think it used to be called Player 22. But Rezel, they've coming out with Premier League Player, which is for all the soccer fans, including myself out there.
Football.
Premier League Player offers moments, letting you experience some of the best parts of the 2023-2024 season of the Premier League. It's no surprise that Rezel will offer 20 Premier League teams with authentic kits, realistic stadiums in Premier League Player. Rezel also stated that it captured and created every moment with incredible precision, hoping you to bring in the action to the Premier League. So it seems like maybe a game that you can kind of, I don't know if it's
play like moments.
or if you could like recreate something. So there's an app on iPhone actually. It's a game. It's something similar to this where like it will be like I don't know, one of these like really famous goals that was scored in 86 World Cup or something, and they'll replay like the start of it, and then you have to just flick to try and do the same passes, and then it will do the cross, and then you got to like header it in the right position and such. I'm thinking it's going to be like that, but I'm not too sure. For my team, 2023 to 2024 season, Man United was probably one of their worst up until the end. So I don't think I'm looking forward to that specific season's moments. But
they didn't get relegated.
No, at least they're in it. So yeah, keep track of the Cavs on that. I think that will be out towards the end of the year. There's no release date yet, but I think it's due for Q4 2024. All right.
I kind of wish this was just a watch Premier League app where you could be on the sideline or goal and end line.
You can do that you can do that in the UK. And there's a Sky Sports app, which is like ESPN. You can watch it, but I tried it when I was in the UK with it, and it works really well, to be honest. But unfortunately, locked to that region, so you can't do it over here. And I don't think I can't confirm, but I don't think the VPN works with it either. I'm pretty sure I tried that last time and it just doesn't load. Like you can get in the app, but it just doesn't load.
Won't do
So
it.
yeah. Anyway, that is all the news. We will wrap up part 1, and part 2 we'll talk about Mars Garden and everything that Samson has been playing as well. So we'll see you then.
Hey, we know public lobbies in VR games can be a bit toxic, feel a bit empty at times. That's why we created the Let's Talk Oculus Discord, a friendly community that you can join for multiplayer meetups, general VR chat, the game, and chat about VR, fitness motivation, and there's even a very impressive 3D printing channel. Join over 100 of our community members in the Let's Talk Oculus Discord for free. The link is right in the description.
All right, welcome back to part 2, what we've been playing and the Mars Garden initial impressions. Samson, I guess I should start off because I've not been playing anything apart from this new DLC from Walkabout. So Mars Garden, for those of you who don't know, this is the latest DLC. It is out, or came out yesterday for those watching it on the free streams, came out today for the Patreons.
Or last month if you're really late to this one.
Yeah, that's true. So this is set in Mars, as you probably already know. But Mars Garden, instead of being like across the planet of Mars in a way, you are concentrated in this kind of greenhouse with a ton of like plants for fruits, for vegetables, and flowers, and all sorts. And Sam's,
Is it like
go on.
Is it like if humans tried to live on Mars, where they would be living, type of deal?
In a way, yeah. There's a school on there. There's a school in there. Let's just say that there's a school.
Okay.
You know, I don't know if it's a school for kids, for aliens. I don't know, but we'll you know,
Ooh.
I don't know. That's up for your interpretation. Samson, I know you haven't played this, so I don't want to spoil it too much, but it's very much a spiritual successor to Arizona Modern, for a lot of reasons.
Ooh.
For a lot of reasons. One, there's no like gimmick or anything, but the main mechanic which is featured on every single hole is the curvature. Similar to Arizona Modern, where like most, if not all, of the holes, probably 90% of the holes, all have curvature. Not as much as Arizona. The curvature is slightly different, but you're utilizing the curvature to get to the other sides of
like
the holes.
Alfheim kind of too.
Yeah, a little bit like Alfheim. It was a mixture of that for sure. A lot of curves going on. It's all
I like curves.
Yeah, you like curves. There's also a very much spiritual successor to Arizona Modern in terms of the music. I know you'll want to turn off the music, but Arizona Modern is a very calming, relaxing soundtrack. This is the exact same thing. In fact, for some reason, it really reminds me of the movie Gone Girl, because it has the same kind of soundtrack of that movie. In this it's really weird, but like if you go watch the Gone Girl movie, you'll get, I'll tell you now, it's exactly the same. Well, not exactly the same, but very similar. A few things I really like about it. Really like the aesthetics. It's as I mentioned, it's very peaceful. It's very beautiful with the garden. On Quest 3, it looks stunning. I'm sure on the PlayStation it will look really good as well. There's a lot of fun environmental storytelling. So on a few of these holes, there is like a board, shall we say, and as you get close to the board, a message appears that you can read in English, and it basically tells you a story of the kids' classes. So there's basically there's children on this, or aliens on this, in this garden, and they're going to school in here and there. It looks like their school is for gardens, for gardening and such.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Landscaping and gardening, so it does make sense. So there's a lot of pretty flowers everywhere, and lots of fruit and all sorts, and that kind of goes into the fox hunt later on, which we'll talk about. But just on the easy mode itself, I found it very straightforward, to be honest. The curvature sometimes, once you get used to it, because you realize that it is quite fast, you get used to it very quickly. I think even though I was like not doing well at the start, there was a lot of holes where I got like eagles on and such. So I found the easy mode very straightforward, but it's still really fun. The nice thing about this course is that even though if you play safe and such, like it's a very straightforward, easy course. However, it really invites you to kind of go for it because because of the curvatures and such, you can see
always go for it.
Yeah, you can see the hole from far away, or maybe the hole's like right next to you and you're separated by a really small like inlet of water. And you're like, you know what, I'm going to just go over rather than having to go around. But most of the time you might not get it right because you got to get it perfect. It seems easier than it actually is when you actually go for it. So it does invite you. So every time I've like maybe scored out or just hit too many strokes, it's just because I'm just trying to go for it. But I think if you play safe, it's a very straightforward course in that respect.
We'll have to make this a part of our season 6 walkabout tournament. Huh?
Oh, 100%, 100%. The hard mode is it's obviously harder, but it's dark. It's in night mode, and this is where when we talked about part 1 in terms of the v69 update with the content adaptive backlight control. I didn't try this before the update, so I'm actually not too sure if it made a massive difference. But at night mode, it really looks nice with the shadows, especially that the ball is quite dark and you can see there's no light on the ball until you get to specific light spots on the actual course itself. So there's nothing big happening. It's not like in Atlantis where everything glows or anything like that. It just takes it to dark mode, but being in the dark mode adds a lot of beautiful shadowing that you can see around the course.
I've got 2 questions, Dan.
Go
on. The first one is about the balls. Did you find any? What you think of some of them?
I found 0.
I forget, I'm gonna 0. Okay, you were racing through. All right, and then second question: is there any moving platforms or anything?
So I found 0 balls just because even when I tried to look for them, I still couldn't find them. I don't think I'm very good at finding the balls in walkabout games, to be honest. I can find them in the very early ones, but I think now with the later ones,
as soon as they added challenge,
yeah, I just can't find them, to be honest. But and then is there any moving platforms? There's no moving platforms. No. No, there's no moving platforms itself. There is water that's around. There is like water, which you can...
Is water on Mars?
Yeah, there is water. Exactly, right. There is water. You can bounce on the water sometimes, depending on how you hit the water, especially if you're coming from a big drop and such. But yeah, no moving platforms. There are a few robots that are... They're named, and you'll know the names in the Fox Hunt. There's like 4 of them. And one's like chopping, one's like watering, one's like doing a UV light on some of them and such like that. So you do have moving robots, but that's about it. The Fox Hunt I completed in probably 5 minutes. It was very straightforward. And I think also because the course is...
no balls, but you can knock out the Fox Hunt?
Yeah, the Fox Hunt, I completed in probably 5 minutes, and that's without me timing myself. It was probably even quicker than that. I think because this course is very confined into a small space, a small area, I found it very straightforward to go darting. A lot of them is like... find the lemon tree, find the pepper, find the
Gotcha.
Those kind of things, find the classroom as we discussed and such. So just keep, when you're doing the easy course, just keep look out for all of the different environmental things, and then once you come to the Fox Hunt, there'll be things that they talk about and you're like, oh, okay, I know this is somewhere on this side and such. So I found it very straightforward. I won't spoil the actual club if you haven't got it, but let's just say it looks like bones in your body without giving it away. I don't want to tell you which ones, but it looks like 2 bones. The actual putter, the putter's a bit odd. I'm not too sure if I love the putter, but I can see where they're coming from with the actual design of the curvatures. It's not bad. It's fine. I've been playing with it ever since, but it's not my favorite. It's still Upside Down is still my favorite product, I'd say.
I still use single stacks.
Yeah, that one, the broom's really really cool too. Yeah, so and then of course there's a low gravity mode as well, which I didn't really know about until today when I just jumped in before this podcast just to go around the course one more time, and I realized there was low gravity mode. So by default it's normal. You don't have any low gravity, it's just normal gravity. But then under the customizations where you can kind of change the modes for like match play and such, you can change it to low gravity. Yeah.
In tournament play, low gravity's got to be on.
Yeah, it's got to be on. It does say it's an experimental mode and it could break some holes. I did not play every single hole. I did play a bunch in easy and hard with the low gravity and didn't find like it was going to break anything. I actually didn't find that it affects the course too much. No, like it is lower. So like when you hit it up a ramp and it falls down slower, but I didn't find that it actually affected the course much at all, to be honest. But it's a nice little touch, and every single hole gets affected with the low gravity. I feel like they could have maybe touched it up a little bit and like maybe made it a little bit stronger or a little bit weaker, shall we say?
With still an experiment.
Yeah, I feel like they could have made it a little bit weaker and maybe have it slow down the ball. But if to me, unless I'm just need to test it more because I only just tried it for a little bit. But for me, it doesn't make too much of a difference. You do have to just hit the ball a little bit differently, but it didn't make too much of a difference. So overall, I think this course is a very solid, like 7.5 out of 10. It's just a solid course. Like it doesn't blow you away like something like Venice would, for example, with all of its visuals and such. Or Atlantis, but at the same time, it's not also full of wacky gimmicks and such, and it doesn't overstate its welcome. Like I find Temple of Zazura a little bit too much with what it's doing. So it's kind of like this is just a solid course, and it kind of fits in perfectly with like the original 4 courses, to be honest. So just a very good course all around. It's a course that I didn't know that I wanted, but it's a really good one.
Now you got it.
Now I got it, and I love the music. I think the soundtrack's probably my favorite part of it, to be honest. But yeah, that's Mars Garden. Samson, do not turn off the soundtrack. Go play it with the music, and you'll feel peace.
Well, first run through, I usually try to get the music in mostly to at least talk about it.
Fair enough.
Then I turn it off.
All right, Sam. So what have you been playing other than Walkabout? I guess because you haven't playing that.
Yeah. Well, I did get into Walkabout. It's just that I don't. The update it's lost in translation with me and the Walkabout team currently. So just got to get that sorted. I did get into the Walkabout tournament though, which I'll get into perhaps at the end of this play or maybe at the start of part 3. Yeah. We'll sort that out later. I got into some Synthriders. Been playing Wednesday mornings at about 9 a.m. with Pro Stud from the LTO Discord. And usually got a pretty big group and play a lot of customs. But if you don't got customs, there's other rooms for you to find. No, we're a welcoming group. We're a welcoming group. But they are very good. They are very good. And one guy, very good at force mode. And Dan, boy, do I hate force mode on Synthriders. I am a stock, just rhythm mode.
Now, you do like to speed it up, though, don't you? As well.
Oh, yeah. I speed it up, and sometimes I'll do small notes, but I'm not about the 360 or the 90 degree or the spin mode or any of that jazz. So just give me normal, please.
Fair enough.
Just normal. But it's a good time. Good time. I got into a little bit of Yeeps Hide and Seek, which is a guerrilla-style movement game. It's free, which is why I got in. I got in with a couple friends, Void, Bits, and the Gilman. And boy, oh boy, are there a lot of children in this game, Dan. Let me tell you this. So it's much like Gorilla Tag. You hop in, and you're kind of alone. Once it kind of guides you, and then you end up in a public lobby once it knows you have the movement down at a basic degree. And then it seems like it's a bunch of different worlds all connected by little tunnels. So you can kind of go through and you find an ice world, or you'll find the place to create the sandbox mode private world. And we ended up in some sort of climby ice world, and we just hear, are you guys adults?
Yes.
So yeah, but ultimately, I think the Gill man ran into a few kids that were not
friendly.
Mm-hmm. But the ones I ran into were pretty friendly, and they were like, "Oh, hey, if you want to get up there, you just got to go over here." And then they were showing me other cool things like a grapple gun and all this jazz. They were overall pretty nice, but yeah, a lot of kids in there. Yeeps, hide and seek, girlless tag movement. If you want to learn more about it, I'm a Rainbow on YouTube has made a lot of videos about it. But it's also free if you want to just hop in and try it. But know what you're getting into. Gorilla tag style movement. Kids. Yep. Moving right along. Got into a bunch of Golf Plus finally, Dan. I'd been buying these last few courses, had not hopped into them. My pilot buddy, who I usually play these games with, he had the weekend off, so we got in a lot of Golf Plus. We got in Sweden's Cove Golf Club, which had a lot of tall grass, kind of like looked like grass you would see at a beach or something like this.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Good amount of water. It was a pretty good course, not too challenging. To be juxtaposed with Castle Pines Golf Club, which was very challenging, Dan. These fairways are narrow. And not only are they narrow, they're surrounded by trees. So that was a tough one. And then we got into the Butler Pitch and Putt, which is a course in Austin. And it's a little, I think it's 9 holes, but it maybe changes where the pin is that you have to hit to make it 18. And yeah, it's pretty good for practicing your pitching and all that jazz. And it looks cool. I'd love to go to that course in Austin just to see it, because it just looks like one you'd play in your local town or something.
Yeah, I used to really like playing pitch and putt in Vancouver. Now I'm in Toronto. There's no pitch and putts nearby at all because we're in a big city. So this might be the fill. Do you play with a club, by the way, or do you just play with the controller?
No. I did think about it, though. I did think about it because we started playing I've been playing a lot of amateur mode. That's the middle mode, I think. And I just started moving it to pro, which offers absolutely no swing assist. And boy, oh boy, do I not hit the fairway on pro mode. I'd be going, whoo, shank, whoo, pull it. Yeah. But I do think that I'm able to kind of adapt. I can't get good power in this game, really. My buddy Fitzy's just driving it always consistently the whole time we've been playing, 20 to 30 yards further than me every shot.
Wow. So
what I do is after the drive, I usually just play up a few clubs. So whatever it suggests, I just go up a couple. And it mostly evens out. But yeah, Golf Plus, great game. And I think they just had an update this week. Released a new course called the Hay. It's a 9-hole 3-par course, and it's combined with the Hay putting course, which is 18 holes of putting, and I believe it's $5.99.
Nice. I'm so, we just obviously spoke about Walkabout just before. I'm so glad that they're very different games now.
I remember it was only Top Golf? It was just Top Golf.
No, before that it was called Pro Putt. Before that it was just putting, right? It was just putting. And I remember doing a YouTube video. I think it was probably my second or third YouTube video, which was comparing the difference or like which is better, Walkabout or Pro Putt. And yeah, we've gone such a long way, which is really good. I'm really glad.
Markets now.
Yeah, I'm really glad. They're both from that video I did back in 2020, 2021, 2020, something like that. vast changes, and it's great that they're completely different in a way, because they're both like thriving in their own kind of markets now. But yeah, that's really cool. All right, what else did you get into?
Very briefly, I saw a few YouTube videos of this game called Fly, and it's a Google Earth style game where you stand, but you move by leaning or taking a step in that direction. And you can kind of go down to Street View as well, which is kind of what most intrigued me. I messed around in it for about 15 minutes. I mean to go back in. I kind of want to show it to my girlfriend's daughter, maybe. You know, little. I feel like it could be good with a kid. I'm also wondering if you can see old. I'm interested in Street View changing dates. You know, so you can kind of go back in time, type of deal. Or just changing dates from the above view. I'm curious about those two things. Yeah, it's called Fly, FLY, and it's kind of like a Google Earth type of game.
Yeah, fair enough.
It basically has you in like a drone, so you kind of you feel like you're controlling a drone, but it's first person drone.
Got it.
Next, I saw that Felix and Paul Studio had a Felix and Paul Studios 2024 app, and I was like, "Ooh, what is this?" They make VR videos, and I love those.
Pretty good ones.
I think it's pretty much just a re-release of everything they did before, but now the app works for now. They are known for their apps kind of going defunct eventually and then never really touching them up. But I watched a few videos, and you can download them. They are a few gigabytes, so if you press for space, beware. But you can't delete them then. But I decided to do it because you get a higher resolution and all that jazz. Felix and Paul Studios.
What were the videos about?
It felt like National Geographic films I watched. They were about people and nomads in different places.
I see. Very good.
Dan, HyperDash, a game that I think I played on my Quest 1.
Yeah.
From way back side quest days. They had a new map release in the last month. A new freaking map. Now, HyperDash is the Triangle Factory, the makers of Breachers, and so me and a few of my normal Breacher crew hopped into HyperDash, and we had I think 8 people or so. It was a good time. The new map is cool. It's called Blimp. You're kind of in the sky, and there's rails connecting different areas. But the game mode that you have to play on this mode is called Elimination. And that was okay. Basically, each team starts with different weapons, and if you keep winning, you get better weapons, which then sort of like puts you at more of an advantage. Or they like switch around, but they don't give you the same weapons each round.
Yeah,
and so it kind of felt a little weird. But HyperDash, it's free now. It's free to test out. So if you're interested, get in there.
Yeah, classic. Just a classic.
Yeah, it's fast. It's fast. Some might say hyper dash. So I also got into Bocce time because for those of you who don't know, and now that you do, I am in a Bocce time tournament from Noble Squashy, content creator, friend of the show, and my teammate is Live Open Mike, and we played actually against Noble Squashy and his teammate Pow. And the first game started off pretty close. I think we had a little beginner's luck there, but we did lose ultimately. But I really like how he has this tournament set up. So basically, per point, you can change which course you go on. So you know how you're in the park?
Yeah.
So you start out on the most normal bocce course, so which is just a straight one. And if you win the first point, you can then move to play the next point on one of the other courses. Great setup because we got to play the whole park in one game.
That's really
Bocce
cool.
time. Check it out. There's 2 levels, kind of.
Yeah. I've not played this game for so long. But I remember having
that's
the
why I
interview
joined this tournament. Yeah,
to get back into it. Has there been any big significant differences from when we used to jump in? No. Okay, fair enough.
There is a whole nother level, but we didn't play that level in this tournament.
Right. Okay, that's fair enough. I mean, there's not much you could change to that game apart from refine it, or maybe add a few more maps potentially.
Yeah, you could kind of walk about it, look for things to hide around, that type of deal. But yeah, overall, not too much.
Fair enough.
Also, with Live Open Mic and Noble Squashy, got into some Among Us VR, and I think we filled a lobby, or we had 9 people. We had 9 or 10 people. It was great fun. We played the new containment mode. We played some normal Among Us, and I got a win as the imposter. I got a loss as the imposter, and I got a couple wins and losses as crewmates as well.
Fair enough. Nice mix.
So much fun. Yeah, so much fun. So much fun. I tried to lie my way out of a murder, and Creeper Betty, she saw right through my lies, and so I was voted off. But if you want to see this, you can, Noble Squashy live streamed it, and you can see it on his YouTube video.
Nice.
YouTube channel. There we go. And last, but certainly not least, I've been getting to some puzzling places at work. Been taking some, 15-minute work breaks in the car, and I can knock out usually about a 50 count puzzle if I choose the 50 pieces. And honestly, it might be a little too easy, but I like it because you can actually see on each piece you have distinct
you got an idea of what they are.
You're not really like ever getting lost, or at least the pieces that you really have no idea where the hell they could go, like the under part of a car or something like this. There's so few of them. So I listened to a podcast by the devs as well. They try to have 10 or less of those what the fuck type of pieces that could go anywhere and you don't know what they are. And so I'll just start with something that I could really tell what it is, and then I just work my way out from there. And at the 50 count, I find it very manageable. I'm very rarely like
thinking you're not stuck. Yeah, it's just more passing time, peaceful activity kind of thing.
Now, I did also pick this up on my PlayStation, and it also works pretty well on the PlayStation, but I do prefer this in mixed reality 100%. Main reason I picked it up on PlayStation was it was 50% off, and I want to give the multiplayer a try. And so I figured it's crossplay. I'll give that a whirl.
Is a multiplayer like you could do the puzzle together, or is it like a time? Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's fun.
There's also if I had 2 quests or with mixed reality, you can do multiplayer mixed reality same space.
That's really cool. Yeah, that's what I'm excited for the Kinect. We'll talk about this more in the next episode anyway, but like I'm excited to see. I'm hoping to see more of those apps kind of shown off to kind of push that mixed reality.
I mean, so on this podcast I listened to, they mentioned how many, I think it was installations or maybe how many times their game code has been activated. Guess how many activations they have?
This is just for one app.
So it's Puzzling Places, but over all platforms.
Can you give me a ballpark figure?
Oh, I'll give you a ballpark. It's 6 figures.
Oh my gosh. Like maybe I'll just say 500,000. How about that?
Half that. 250.
250
or 240, somewhere in there. But still pretty impressive. Now, they did very much mention that their monthly active user base is much lower than that. But it's still a pretty impressive amount of games to be sold, in my opinion.
Yeah, I remember with all the Quest 3S rumors, people were saying that it won't have mixed reality, as like that is the thing that they'll take off to lower the price. That would defeat the whole purpose of what they're trying to do. They're really trying to push mixed reality, and so it won't make any sense. So mixed reality will 100% be on this Quest 3S, and I'm sure you'll see some new apps. I mean, remember we've not had an official Meta reveal or conference or anything like that since the last Connect. Like there's no game showcase this year. This is
right, and the Quest 3 came out after last Connect.
Yeah, on October, which was that reveal and such. So it has announced in the game showcase before that, right? But yeah,
Dan, I gotta say something here. It's pretty late in the podcast to be bringing this up, but
go on.
Where the hell are you, VR cover?
Oh,
Where are you?
yeah.
Where is my VR cover? Anything other than the thing that goes over the stock facial thing that is like a sock?
Yeah,
Like
because
where is it? Where is it all?
I wasn't a massive fan of the AMVR one, to be honest. Like, it was fine. It was decent, but it just needed to be thicker. To be
Dan, I
honest.
like this. I got this globular cluster one.
Mm.
I like it a lot because it basically, you stick in a magnet thing,
Mhm.
and then you have 3 different styles. And so if I want the pleather, I use the pleather. Usually I use it's sort of like a softer one.
The
But
magnet's a
there's
game changer. That makes it way easier.
Yeah, and then you just interchange them.
Yeah.
So way better for sharing your quests too. In theory,
You have to send me a link to that. I'm curious.
I will. It is $40, but it well worth it in my opinion.
Yeah, if it's good. I mean, I unpacked my quest from the move, and I was like, okay, I have my quest, I have my Zyber Elite strap, and that's all I'm rocking. The rest of it's all stock right now. I've even taken off the wrist straps and just put the knuckle straps and put the standard ones on. Just because like the knuckle straps are really good for almost everything, but when I play Walkabout, I actually prefer without the knuckle straps. I find it better or easier without it. So I just left them off. I still have them right next to me. I can switch them on if I wanted to, but yeah, I'm running quite bare stock, very stock, just like the Synthriders, very stock. But yeah, anyway, we'll talk about more of the Connect next week. This will do for part 2. Part 3, we'll talk about any games out this week and any of the Walkabout stuff, the standings, shall we say. Samson, we'll talk about that at the end of the pod. So we'll see you in part 3. Let's Talk Oculus is available on all good podcast platforms and some rubbish ones as well. If you want to see the video version, it's available on YouTube and Spotify. And also, if you love us so much, then consider throwing us $1 at patreon.com/Let's Talk Oculus. Back to the show. All right, welcome back to part 3, games out this week and the Walkabout standings. Samson, I'm going to start this time. We have 2 games on the list. First game is Chernobyl again. It's going to be $30. That's a rough estimate. These are all prices converted from Canadian to dollars, and I just estimated it. So I think it's $30. Anyway, Chernobyl again is an adventure game created for virtual reality headsets taking place in the 3D scanned Chernobyl exclusion zone for a more immersive and engaging experience. You will get a chance to explore the zone, feel its dark atmosphere, and follow the plot full of unexpected twists via different kinds of puzzles you'll also get to solve whilst traveling through space and time. Your main goal will be to stop the Chernobyl nuclear power plant explosion and the consequences we know it brought not only to our timeline, but also alternative futures that become available to us thanks for your time-traveling discovery.
You did nail the prices, $29.99 and $19.99. The $19.99 one is called Hotel R&R.
Wait. We talk about Chernobyl.
Oh, sorry.
First.
Okay, sorry. I jumped the gun.
I was like, what are you talking about? 1999. Samson, this is I don't know how I feel about having this playing this game, Chernobyl, again.
It's not really for me.
No, I really enjoyed watching the Chernobyl documentary on HBO. I would like to do a Chernobyl, like they 3D scan the exclusion zone, which is pretty cool. But it'd be good if it was like a documentary, kind of like the JFK assassination kind of documentary, kind of have something like that in VR. That'll be really interesting. Having an actual game going into it and trying to stop it and such, it just feels a bit weird. A little bit too soon. Those kind of things. You know, like, I mean,
too soon? Yeah, I don't know about that. But
I don't know.
I'm just not interested in this type of game, I think.
Yeah, I mean, like, I love Medal of Honor and it was a World War game and such, but I don't know. Maybe because I've been alive when this was happening. No, it wasn't alive. This was in the 80s. Was it 80s Chernobyl? 90s? I don't know. Either way, I'd
don't know, but now it's happening again.
Now it's happening again. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this game. I'm interested to see the 3D scan, but yeah.
86.
86, yeah, I wasn't alive. But yeah, I don't know. It just feels too soon. I don't know. I didn't even know my thoughts. I need to. It's too late in the day.
Isn't the rule like 20 years? Isn't that the 20-year rule?
Yeah, maybe.
Like that?
Maybe. Sure.
There's been like 40.
Yeah, there's been 20 years. Yeah, I don't know. Not a fan. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of this one. Anyway, moving on.
All right. Neither am I, but I want to make clear I'm not a fan because I don't think it's not too soon. You can make it chill.
Yeah, that's fair. We can have different opinions.
Should I go into Hotel R&R now?
You go into Hotel R&R.
Okay. Hotel R&R. Live the rock star lifestyle. Sell your soul for fame. Smash up hotels and become infamous. Pressure from hotel staff and your own limp wrists are against you. But with over 40 weapons and 20 plus upgrades.
Weapons?
There's a world tour ahead of you. Yeah, I said weapons. 40 weapons and 20 plus upgrades.
Yeah, I know, but I was just expecting Rockstar. Anyway, continue.
Listen, we don't know what kind of weapons they are.
Sure.
They could be sick beats.
Yeah.
There's a world tour ahead of you. It's time to get creative. Each hotel is a playground of physics-based demolition with time to explore and plan your strategy before lighting the fireworks and trying to keep the manager out with a hellish pawn shop of weirdly satisfying weapons, including wet fish, an electric baton, C4, and guns.
Yeah,
just guns. And a stack of challenges to appease the devil himself. Becoming the most infamous takes brains as well as looks.
This is
Hotel R&R.
the most weirdest, wackiest game I've ever seen. You think Hotel R&R, Rockstar Simulator, there'll be some sort. It seems like, I don't know. It'll be like Arcade Paradise in a way. That's what it sounds like. But then as soon as they bring in weapons and upgrades and
well, it's physics-based.
machine guns, ragdoll physics, and all this stuff, this is not what I expected. I'm just interested to see the reviews for this one.
It kind of seems like a sandboxy type of thing.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Just kind of wacky demolition fun. It seems really fun, to be honest, to play if it runs well, to be honest. But I don't know if I'll be getting this one, but I don't know. At the same time, it does seem fun. I won't be,
but I'll be watching some stuff on it. It does look goofy.
Yeah.
It does look goofy.
I do like a goofy game.
But there's a lot to be buying soon.
Yeah, and there's a lot to be buying. It does look, the goofiness, okay, let me rephrase. I will, do the exact same with you. I'll keep my eyes open, and we'll see how this one
I could
goes.
see you getting this one just to talk about it and then doing the 2-hour return if it's not really your speed.
Yeah, that might be it.
It's smart. It's smart.
That might be it. Anyway, I feel like this game you play your 2 hours, you know what you're playing. Yeah,
I think you play a half hour, you know what you're playing.
To be honest. All right, let's wrap up the show. Samson, you want to do some walkabout standings for us? We've got week 4.
Yeah. We got week 4. So week 4 was in the books. What we did was we did Atlantis easy and we did Tourist Trap hard. Now, the races, Dan, let me tell you. So Parody's been out a couple weeks. She's had a lot going on. So there's been a bit of a change at the leaderboards. Mm-hmm. Well, in that nobody's really competing with Rock and Horse Brat still, but we'll get into that. Let me start with the races, where on the easy course, Healing Entree came in 3rd place with 5 minutes and 22 seconds. The Maestro came in 2nd place with 5 minutes and 20 seconds. And yours truly came in 1st place with 5 minutes and 8 seconds.
Yeah, you're pretty fast at these races. You're always up there, if not winning. So, pretty impressive.
I just don't look up. I just keep pressing trigger. As soon as my ball appears, I'm ready to start swinging forward, and I hope I have a good shot. A lot of things did go my way, especially on those par 4s. I was able to 2 them, even on the race mode. And it's important, even when you screw up on race mode, to just be like, all right, I'll just take the one stroke to get myself back to where I need to be, and instead of like keep going, because you just can't dig yourself holes in races. Moving right along into the hard mode, which is Tourist Trap hard, for those that didn't remember, is Rock and Horse Brat in 3rd place with 6 minutes and 44 seconds. Cobalt Dave in 2nd place with 6 minutes and 33 seconds. And yours truly at 6 minutes.
Flat? You were 33 seconds ahead of 2nd place. Wow. You know what you're doing when it comes to these races.
Taurus trap, especially. I hit 18 going backwards.
Did you?
Yeah. So that
wow,
very much helped. I don't think I played really perfectly, but that really helped too.
Yeah, that would have saved so much time. My gosh. Okay, what about the stroke?
I do want to know. I do want to note later on in the hard mode, Kim and the Maestro were separated by 0.01 tenths of a second.
Wow.
They each had 7 minutes 3 seconds, and Kim had 0.23 and Maestro had 0.24. And I think that just might be the closest single
for sure
difference we've had so far.
100%. I think we would have noticed if it was otherwise, but wow. You can't really get closer than that unless you're just higher up the leaderboard, really.
Tied. Yeah. Exactly.
Fair enough.
Now, moving right along to the stroke play of week 4, easy mode Atlantis, for those that didn't remember. We had in third place the Maestro with -16. Yours truly with -19, which was my course record. And in the first place, Rockin' Horse Brat with -22. Woof. I was pretty close. 3 strokes, I'd take that. I'll take that any day. That just makes me feel like I really played that one well.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Good. Then on the hard mode, it's Taurus Trap Hard. In third, we had a tie for third place there. We had Maestro and Cobalt Dave tie with -8. Yours truly in second place with -11. And Rockin' Horse Brat with -13.
Wow.
Ooh.
Oh, you were close. So good. You were close to winning the hard.
Yeah, I was close again.
You really played some great golf this week. Some quick golf.
I tried my best. These are 2 Taurus Trap I've played, obviously, the most of any course. Yeah. So, also a strategy I find for the hard course is I'll do my stroke play first, and then I'll immediately play the race mode.
That makes sense.
So that a lot of them I don't have to look up. I know what hole and where I'm shooting right off the bat.
Yeah, smart, very smart.
Week 5, Dan, our final week before we take a week-long break per usual Walkabout tournament stuff. We have Upside Town Easy and Laser Lair Hard.
Laser Lair Hard. Upside Town Easy. These are tough courses to finish off the tournament.
Kind of goofy.
Very goofy. Yeah, very hard.
They're fun.
Very, very good. All right, Samson, that wraps up our show. Remember, for everyone who've got this far, new Discord link down below in the description. Go ahead and click that and join the new Discord. Next week, we'll have our predictions episode because we're a week away from the Connect. So we will do predictions. So send in your predictions if you have any to letstalkoculus@gmail.com, or you can message us on Discord, or you can message us in the YouTube comments, or you can also message in the Spotify comments if you watch it on Spotify. Lots of different places.
A lot of options.
You can also DM me on Twitter if you want, but that's probably the worst way. But I'll still see it. I just get porn bots DMing me on Twitter these days. I know. I had that for a while, but no longer. So I think they come and go.
You. I just want to say you made it, Dan. It is very nearly 10 o'clock at night, and look at you go. You're here. You're up. You're at 'em. You're looking great. You're wide awake.
No, my eyes are very shut right now.
You do look kind of like Wes from Virtual Strangers sometimes.
My eyes are very shut. I'm not used to this. Right now, it'll be 7 o'clock Pacific time.
Yeah, you'd be ready to go to dinner.
Yeah, I'd be ready to have dinner. But right now, I also need to. We're recording this one late, so I do need to edit this. So. Okay, toodles.
You did do me a favor there.
Yeah, toodles, everybody. Well, Samson, do you have a quote to send us away?
What ends on hope does not end at all.
Beautiful. We'll see you next week for some fun predictions. Take care, everyone.